What's up, everybody? How's it going? I am here for a little AMA. On yesterday's Pure Alpha, I noticed we didn't get a lot of questions answered because me, Axis, and Crispy were, having a good conversation, and we didn't really have too much time to. Oh, there's echo. Let's see. Let's see. Let me go to my settings. Let me know if this is any better. Any better? Let me know. Let me know cool if it's any better. But I'm gonna keep going. Basically, I saw that we didn't have any. We didn't answer too many questions on the Pure Alpha show yesterday with Axis and Crispy. So I just wanted to come on really quickly and just answer any questions that you guys had, just about what's going on. I don't plan on it being a super long stream. I don't really have too much planned, but I just wanted to come hang out with you guys for 30, 45 minutes. So yeah, let's say hi to everybody in the chat, and then we will get started. Of course, your boy Crypto Kool-Aid is here. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well. H&H, what's up? Hex Logic, good to see you, buddy. And you're right, let's fucking go. I appreciate that, man. I like it. I like it a lot. What's up, Get Some? Hope you're doing well, man. And okay, good. I'm glad I sound all right. PHUX Muldar, good to see you. I like that avatar. And hey, what's up, Meg Olive? Good morning, my friend. 1 to 10, what's your EHEX confidence? Good question. 6, 7. It's pretty solid. I actually just bought a very, very small amount today. Not like it was a very small amount, but the reason why I bought it was because I couldn't pass up the opportunity of saying I bought Hex under a penny if it went away from there forever, right? So I had to buy it. I couldn't let the opportunity to buy sub 1 cent Hex go away without at least making a single buy. So I made a buy today, and I'm gonna look to put in a little bit more money in the near future, but not a crazy amount. I think if I had to put more money in, I want to build up my pulse back a little bit more, just because looking at it's lagging behind a little bit. But yeah, solid 6, 7, easy. What's up, Crypto Conscious? Good to see you. Looks like Kool-Aid is confident. Godfather J6, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Mega Olive is a 7. Nice. Blue Bison, dry powder, Hedron, or Icosa on Pulse or ETH. Let's see. Let's take a look. Let me pull up some charts. That'll help us kind of look at the deal that's going on. Let's see if I got some good music to play. Yeah, this is a chiller stream. I'll get a little louder. There we go. All right, let's take a look. Okay, so turn that down a little bit. Yeah, we are looking at Hedron or Icosa on Pulse or ETH. So I got Hedron on ETH, Icosa on ETH right here, and then I got the Pulse right here. So it looks like, let's go calculator out and do some quick maths. Let's see, let's do 3443 divided by 5744. So right now it's at about a 41% discount on Ethereum, and then Icosa is at about 8 divided by 15. 8 divided by 15. It's at about a 47% discount. So more or less, the ETH side is worth about half as much as the Pulse Chain side. Now, if we look at the price of Hex, we also see a similar relationship. So actually, in a lot of ways, if you're valuing them relative to their native Hex asset, like the Hedron to Pulse to Hex to PHEX, and then Hedron on Ethereum to EHEX, they're actually, off a specific glance, it's they're valued at about the same relative, because that's how you want to value it. You want to value each of these tokens relative to the native Hex on that specific chain. So when I'm looking at it right now, both of them seem to be about the same vibe in that perspective. dimension that I'll add on top of that is like your personal confidence on the underlying hex asset. So it's like if you think Ethereum hex is gonna die, like I personally don't, but like if you do, I would just not buy Hedron or Icosa on ETH. Only buy it on Pulse Chain. Like if you don't have confidence on the underlying hex asset, you also by definition don't have confidence on Hedron or Icosa because they both derive their value from hex. Let's look at another way to analyze that. Let's look at the pump from the bottom because that could be another way to do it. So if we look at the pump of Hedron from the bottom, we got 37%. Icosa is 24%. And then let's go to the Pulse Chain side. $35, 37%. And then we'll go to Icosa. $24%. That's actually pretty interesting. So it looks like both assets pumped exactly the same across both of the chains. 23%, 24%, 37, 37. So that's actually super interesting from my perspective. But if you're going off which one has pumped less, it would be Icosa. So that's another way you can look at it. There's one more thing I want to look at, and that is, I don't think Hex Model has the Pulse Chain T-shares on the HSI auction yet, but you can also look at which auction house has the best deals on there, and then you can go to take the Hedron that's on that gets the better deals to get cheaper Hex. So yeah, there you go, Blue Lights. There's a couple ways you could figure out, like, would you want to buy Hedron or Icosa? And then the final one that's most personal to you is how much of each do you have? You know, if you have 100 billion Hedron and no Icosa, you should probably buy some Icosa. If you have 100,000 Icosa and like 500,000 Hedron, you should probably buy Hedron. Yeah, I hope that answered your question, buddy. Let's see where we are. Hey, closing Pulse. Yeah, I'm personally putting. So here's what I've been thinking. It's not to say that you shouldn't be buying Hedron or Icosa, because I still definitely would. But wait a second. But because of where the market's at and if everything's so low, what you can do before you make a decision is just DCA it into Pulse, right? So if you DCA it into Pulse and then later on you can decide to allocate into other things. So it's like if you want to capture the general bottom, put it into Pulse, and then you're at least exposed to the volatility. And then later on, when you decide which derivative asset you want to buy, you can take from your Pulse bag. It's very similar to like Ethereum, where it's like just DCA into ETH first, ETH pumps, and then you can DCA into other things afterwards. I think that same mechanic also works. All right. Hey, what do you recommend in terms of bag size for Pulse X and Hex? Okay, so squid sizes for Pulse and Pulse X. And let me see if I can find. Let's see if I can find that. I don't know if I have those. I have the incentive token one. I don't see the. Yeah. I should have pinned it somewhere. Go 2 more seconds to look. All right, here we go. Close enough. Not exactly what I wanted, but okay. So if you look at the staker class leagues for Pulse Chain and Pulse X, to get a squid, you need 117 million Pulse, and for Pulse X, you need 172 million. So that's actually that's a pretty decent amount. If we go to the charts to see how much it is, let's go to Pulse Chain, and then we'll also go to Pulse X. So Pulse Chain, if we need 117 million, it costs 12 grand to get a squid position. And then in Pulse X, it costs what was it? 172. It costs 7 grand to get it. So in total, if you want as a squid position in both, you need $19,000 put in. And then for Hex, getting a squid position really isn't that obtainable. It's a little bit harder. Let's take a look. Let's see if we do 500,000. And we're just going to do the minimum amount that you need. That's 54, so you need about 900,000. 5. Okay, let's just do 940,000 hex. You need about 940,000 hex staked for 15 years, which is like to get the most the most bang for your buck for your T-shares. And so if we're looking at Dex Screener to see how much that would be, let's just do on the Pulse Chain side first. That is $13,000 on the Pulse Chain side. And on the Ethereum side, that is $8,000. So actually you have a similar dynamic there. But I would recommend, as best as you can, getting a squid position. That will really separate you from everybody else later on as the market pumps. But I definitely wouldn't recommend putting all that money into Hex and staking it for 5555. I think a liquid bag of 1 million Hex is an incredible long-term bag, and I'll show you why. So 1 million Hex for 30 days. Gets you 6,000 Hex per month. You know, if we go back to all-time highs, you're printing $3 grand a month, more or less. Now it's going to dilute because of the T-share rate, but you know, just at all-time highs, you're printing a $30,000, $34,000 salary somewhere in there, pretty reliably. Now, of course, that assumes we stay up there for a whole year, but yeah. And then the dollar, of course, you're putting almost 7 grand. So, like, you know, 1 million Hex will get you the passive income you want / need, and it'll also get solid price appreciation with it. Because in addition to producing this income, you also have, you know, $500,000 to $1 million in your net value, your net worth. So I hope that answers your question, Allison. Let's see. RH tweeted, I'm also super excited seeing people that did well with things I've invented throw their coins away on things that did not do well. What do you think he's referring to? That could literally be anything. Pulse Doge, it could be that. It could be Zen. He could even be talking about Hedron and Icosa, though I don't think so, because he's endorsed them before. But yeah, basically anything that didn't do well, that probably ran a sacrifice or was trying to onboard money from the Hex community. Yep. Maybe, sir. Maybe. Aren't you supposed to be in the hospital? Why are you watching YouTube, buddy? When I unstake my Hex 5555 stakes on Hedrons, how much percent am I losing to the protocol? And so if you're talking about if you end... Yeah, I'm not sure. Type your question again, Delana, Amass. I'm not sure I understand what you're asking. Should be the same ratio pulse to ETH, 1 pulse for half ETH. Nice. I like it. Sandy Beach, how you doing? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Got a nice quiet group of people today. I appreciate it. 25 of you hanging out with me on this Friday afternoon. I appreciate it. Let's see. Big Hex stakes ending in 3 days. Makes sense to swap for base for a 1-year payout in September. So yeah, the base stake should be ending pretty soon. And if there's a discount relative to the APR, and like you just plan to hold Hex for that long anyways, like you might as well scoop up what you can. It's just, you know, free money basically at that point. You know, not many people are paying attention to that stuff because not many people are paying attention to Hex. So that's some opportunity for you if you are looking for it. Yep. Maybe. I'll get you in for a cleaning, and I'll see if I can't set up some payments with Hex, Pulse, or PulseX. All right, hit the bottom, guys. Well, let's see if I have anything else I want to talk about. Tetra is still doing their merge over to Pulse Chain. So what's going to happen is they're going to take a snapshot on the Ethereum network. And then from there, what's going to happen is they're going to give an airdrop on the Pulse Chain side and migrate all of the liquidity on ETH over to Pulse Chain. So the Ethereum token is not going to be used for the fee generation for the actual protocol on Pulse Chain. It's going to be a dead token that's basically used as an accounting mechanism to get the distribution out there, and then the real token you'll get 1-for-1 later on Pulse Chain. So yeah, we're just waiting on that. And Stu is had a recent stream on My Life is Awesome, My Life is Awesome's channel, about he did a demo. Yeah, he did a demo about what using Tetra will look like. I believe Kool-Aid was on that stream too, so go check it out. It was really cool, and I enjoyed watching it. And it was a nice peek into kind of what's possible and what the UI might look like. So I definitely recommend checking that out. Oh yes, did you see the RHR auto router tweet? I did. Let me pull it up. That's a good thing to talk about. All right. So pulsex.com news. Auto router is almost done. Better order execution. You'll get much better deals on your trades. Yep, this is great because now it looks like we're probably going to be able to get probably it'll route through V1 and V2, which is really nice. I'm going to be talking a lot about routing, especially on PulseX, tomorrow for my presentation for the LP course I'm doing with Access Alive. Let me drop the link to that, and I'll talk about it a little bit more later. But yeah, so if that's something you're interested in, I'm going to be talking a lot about this, and this is actually really good news for what I'm going to be talking about. So if you look, basically it's like if you're trying to go from Pulse to incentive, it'll route you through the Pulse chain incentive pool, but it could also route you through the PulseX pool and then PulseX to incentive. Like there are all these different routes to get to PulseX, and basically the reason why it does this is because if you just went through one route, the Pulse to incentive token route, you would experience a lot of slippage because there's only so much liquidity. But now by having an efficient router, you put all the coins and spread them out into a bunch of different pools so that your order execution is as efficient and as efficient as possible. So you're going to get much more incentive token than if you just went through one pool, which is great. Like this one's going through the wrap BTC pool with Pulse, and then going to wrap BTC to the Ink token. So I'm really happy to see this. This is pretty sweet. Thanks for bringing that up. All right. What was I saying? Tetra update. I gave a Tetra update, and then what else is there? PHUX Airdrop, I believe, has gone live. I missed their Twitter space, unfortunately, so I couldn't get what the criteria for their first round of airdrops were. So unfortunately, I don't have information on that, but I do know the claim is live and the protocol looks to be live too. See if I can show it. Let me just go to their website, their Twitter. I'll show it to you guys. So PHUX is a balancer V2 fork, which is pretty sweet in my opinion. And basically, like the long and short of it is, instead of having just 50-50 pools where you have to put 50% equal dollar value of both coins into the liquidity pool, you can have variable ratios. So for example, if you look here on the prime PHUX pool, you have 80% PHUX and 20% wrap Pulse. So this liquidity pool is 80% PHUX and only 20% Pulse. Now, why this is important and why this specific ratio is popular is that in the balancer protocol, you can start with offset liquidity like this one, 80-20, and then over time, it'll slowly go to 50-50. And the reason why you would want to do that is because you don't always have enough liquidity, enough ETH, Pulse, USDC, whatever you're trying to back your coin with. You don't always have enough to create deep liquidity with the number of coins you want to put up. So this way, you can have deeper liquidity, but have less underlying value to back it up with. It just allows for bootstrapping of liquidity. It allows it to be easier and quicker and more efficient. We don't have to have as much Pulse on the front end to be able to have a nice size liquidity pool for people to buy. Because before, if you wanted people to buy, you would need all of that Pulse up front to put into the protocol. But now people can buy it without needing that much upfront Pulse. you can put Pulse in and get the PHUX token back because there's so much in there. And then eventually what's going to happen is that it'll rebalance itself to get to 50-50 if they programmed it to be that way. Not you can keep it at 80-20 if you want, but you can also have it slowly go to 50-50 over time or some other ratio. So this is really great for new projects who want to bootstrap liquidity and like get Pulse, ETH, Hex, or whatever into their pool and distribute their token out. And I will be actually drumming up some slides on this probably later tonight for their course tomorrow. It's here the RH Maxi pool. So 40% Pulse, 25% PulseX, 25% PHEX, 10% EHEX, and 5% Inc. Wrapped Hex is just Hex on Pulse chain wrapped over, and 5% incentive token. So now this is really interesting because now you have a pool in a different DEX pairing together PHEX and EHEX. So we're going to have some more liquidity bonding that's not so obvious as it was, say, when we had a farm with EHEX, PHEX. So there's still going to be some bonded liquidity, but now we have all of these assets bonded together. Let's see, what else is it? Risky parity. Wrap Pulse with USDC. Pulse and USDC, and this is 60-40. The Alex Hedron Maxi pool. You have all of the Pulse chain assets, and you also have the wrapped assets with PHEX backing it too. Do you have the wrapped hex? Not in here. So 1% ICOSA on Ethereum, 7% of Pulse ICOSA, 10% eHedron, 42% pHedron, and 40% PHEX. So this is really cool, and this is really exciting. There's a portfolio here where it'll show your coins, which is pretty cool. There's a claim button for you to claim your PHUX tokens if you qualify. You can swap on here if you want. And then they have a governance protocol where I believe with this VEPH token, you are able to vote on which pools get incentivized, I believe, for more PHUX distributions. I need to reread the white paper. I believe the white paper is, in here. I'll read it, and I'll probably do an independent video on PHUX, just going through everything with a slide deck. But for now, that's kind of a little overview. Let's see. Gabriel, what's up, buddy? It's a T-share base game of chicken, yeah. I don't know if it has, to be totally honest. I haven't been keeping up with the Pulse Police Telegram chat. Let's take a quick look. We can verify that. Please. I do not see anything about PHUX and Pulse Police personally. Just off a quick Control F. So take that for what you will. I'm pretty confident in, but if you need audits or you need a community green light, I have not personally seen it. So I would keep an eye out for that. But good question. Let's see. Conversation with Kool-Aid. And yeah, you can hop in Kool-Aid if you want. Feel free, my friend. Let's see. Hey, Hexfire, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Sloth on fire, I appreciate it. Yes, it looks like PHUX is live, based on what I'm looking at on their website. It is live. This probably has a similar thing to eFiat when they launched it, where it has training wheels on. So like, there's only a certain amount allowed in, or well, no, there's $1 million in the bridge stablecoin pool, 300,000 in the prime PHUX pool. So yeah, there's a decent amount of liquidity, but yeah, it looks live. It is live. We're doing it live. Yes, so 0x Coast, let me pull up their tweet. They are live on Ethereum. So they are live, their beta is live for USDC, but their CST token is not live yet. So yeah, Fiat on-ramp now live, app.coast.com. USDC on Ethereum is available, and CST on Pulse Chain is coming sooner than expected. And there's a nice little rocket ship to the moon there. Okay, so I have to sign in. I'll maybe do that later. Yeah, so there is a lot coming in up the line, and this, I'm really excited for Coast because it's the main on and off ramp. I think it's going to be the main on and off ramp a lot of us use for Pulse Chain, and the fact that it's direct on Pulse Chain is incredibly exciting. It doesn't look like the off ramp is on later, just the on ramp. So if you want to go test it out, the beta is available on Ethereum. You can get some USDC in. So yeah, I'm excited about Coast. I'm excited about the CST token and the utility that it has of just being one-to-one fiat-backed stablecoin, and then using that as kind of your way to plug into the whole ecosystem. There's some cool game theory behind like CST paired to like USDL or like the Earn token and stuff like that. But yeah. All right, we got a special guest for a couple minutes. What's up, your boy Crypto Kool-Aid in the house?
Hold on one sec. I've got a double window open somewhere.
Yeah, no problem. I'll pull you back in when you're ready, buddy. But yeah, there you go. We got an extra special guest in the house. Let's see. My question was, if in case I unstake my 5555 hex stake, what's going on to the penalty percentage that I'm paying to the protocol? Thanks. Yeah, so the general rule for hex stakes is if you serve 50% of the stake length, you get your principal back, and then every single day that you wait after the 5555, you get a little bit more interest, and then you get half of your interest from the second to last day to the last day. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. What's up, Kool-Aid? How you doing, buddy?
Oh, how you doing, buddy?
Dude, I'm doing great. It's been a while since I've had you on my channel, man.
I mean,
it's been too long.
It's going crazy. I got my stuff still held hostage in California, but I'm doing okay. I'm in Austin now.
You're what?
I'm out in Austin now.
Oh, nice. Well, I hope it's not been too stressful, man.
I mean, it's always something. But I mean, if you do a pop in AMA, I'll always hop in and talk. All good facts on everything. Do we know how the PHUX airdrop is being salivated? Because is it being with famous and fiat stakers or sacrificers, or is it just people that do? What are the mechanics?
To be honest, I don't know. I don't think they've made that information like readily public. They had a Twitter space not that long ago where I think they talked about it, and I know they're doing multiple airdrops at a time. So I think they have multiple criteria, but they're just like slowly releasing it. What I do know, and this is what Latin America Crypto is saying, the quicker you claim the airdrop for PHUX, the more you end up getting. So there is a time element here where you need to be paying attention to get as many tokens as possible.
Well, the one thing I will say, and by the way, sorry about the echo, no furniture, everything is echoing. My mic isn't even working, so we're going to the webcam. Don't jump on airdrops. And the first thing that you're going to do when you Google something is have a sponsored ad on Google. That is a lie. That is how you get scammed. That is not something you want to be chasing. So make sure if you're looking at airdrops, you're going from the direct site and not connecting your wallet to anything that may or may not be the first on Google when you search. You need to type in direct addresses for everything.
Exactly. Or pull it off the official Twitter. Like some you need to start from an official source somehow, some way, and then use those links. Never just type into Google what you want. And then once you have it, bookmark it so that you know you're going to that same link every single time. So there's no question about it. I know there was some people who were worried who used a fake bridge and got their money stolen, and like a decent amount too. That's really sad.
I mean, I got hit with the fake cow swap stuff because right after the Burning Man nonsense, I was out there 2 weeks in PulseCon, and I was on like 4 different monitors working, and they removed cowswap.com and then moved to swap.cow.fi. But the first sponsor link was cowswap.exchange. I'm like, oh, that looks like the cowswap exchange.
I'm looking for cowswap, and I'm looking to exchange some coins. It has to be right.
It has to be right. So, yeah, always triple check that sources every time.
Yeah. Oh, here's a question from Slarty Bartfast. Do you support Feeder's hosted validator offering? Would you do it if you had risk concerns doing personally? Yeah, so I personally have no problem with a community member offering a service and charging whatever they want for the service that they offer. It's up to the consumer to decide whether or not they want to buy the service or not. And it's up to the person giving the service to provide on what they promised. Sure. So for something like Feeder's hosting validator service, what I would look at is how much knowledge do I have on setting up a validator? How confident am I that I'm able to do it correctly, quickly? How much is my time worth? And is the price tag of what Feeder offering worth how much I'm going to save in research, setup, and potential messing up costs? So that's a personal thing. Like for some people, it may be overpriced because they can do it all themselves to get the best deal. And for some people, it may be the perfect deal because they're going to streamline through it really quickly and get something up that they want. So I don't know what his price point is, but I would say that, like, you know, it's probably worth it if you want to set up a validator and you really don't know that much. And I would recommend going to like someone like RH Max. He has a ton of free resources out there. He has AMAs on setting up validators, Gamma Ops. He has a bunch of free stuff. David Feeder has free stuff too. Go through all that free stuff before you decide if you want to buy something. Definitely.
Yeah, let's say you put homework and you're basically piggybacking on all their experience and them going through the flames first for you. And that's a premium for you should have done your homework if you wanted this whole time and know how to do it. So if you're tech savvy and you're interested in it, the free homework is enough to get your feet wet. If you want to do this and you don't know what you're doing, then the premium is probably worth you not messing up and screwing up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's see. Latin American Crypto said PHUX official airdrop tweet. I don't know if you probably can't drop a link, but I'm on their channel. I'm seeing if they tweeted anything recently. Oh, here's something interesting for the PHUX. In the meantime, you can try using the app, the DApp, and 50% of the supply will be earned by people using the app. So go ahead and, you know, connect a dummy wallet, you know, load it up with some funds and just do a couple swaps to get an airdrop. Kind of like the original not MetaMask. We still haven't had an MetaMask airdrop, but the original Uniswap airdrop.
Is that apped out at PHUX or PHUX.io or .com? Sorry,
dapp.phux.io. Yeah. Okay, so he claims wallets directly from the Pulse Chain Explorer. Latin American Crypto, do you know what the criteria was for this first airdrop? I've been looking for it, but I can't find it. Let me know. So, anything interesting been catching your eye lately, Kool-Aid?
I haven't even been paying attention, sir. I just pop into your Telegram channel and hang out with you guys, and that's about it right now. I've just got so much stuff to grind. But I mean, from a logistical sense, it's cool that we have now more bonded liquidity through bonded pools that users are bringing on, either through Torquing Banker, which is PHUS. We've got all the excitement between liquid loans and Earn Protocol, all the things with Power City going on. Tetra is God mode, if you understand how it works with writing node networks. Again, I was on with Stu with Lit. I'll be going on with him for a bunch else because obviously both of us are architects and we both understand Unreal Blueprint. So for me, it's what I've studied and used for 16 years. I think there's a lot of momentum in the environment of things being created that are anchored into self-aligned people that are smart, especially at the bottom of a bear, and especially with everything that's going on with Gensler, Robert Powell, all the rest of that we have no control over. Like, we have no control over the Fed. We have no control over interest rates. Social Security is gone for all of us that are even probably in our 50s. And I'm early 40s, but it's still gone. So this is an exciting change for people that are on the early 20s to people that are in their older years to actually have a voice and matter within an ecosystem that they have names for the people that they control. You can't just ring up Powell, but you can ring up me. So it's very different in what we have as far as a community of people that are supporting each other, not just with knowledge, which is the most expensive token, but also ideas and balancing them out. So it's a very interesting time because it's almost like we're now moving to the toddler that's learning how to possibly walk to run versus in the first, cycle of Hex, we were barely crawling. Now we're split between 5 different tokens of the same community of an ecosystem, and then that will shatter further. Now, we don't have to worry about price because that's all the liquidity coming in. People are not looking about how price is made and how these markets mature, but we can see so many more support layers or anchors of arms being built and further equipped for that through on what we're doing. So that's really exciting as a whole. And like I've always said, 2 years, no touchy. So if you have your stuff, realize that every time something epochs or forwards over, that should be another 2 years in your mind on how you set yourself up, whether thinking like ladders or thinking about maturity. Because things have to mature to do something. That's why you lose your baby teeth when you mature enough to then have things that actually can be worked on when you need later in life. So I think as an overall whole, that's beautiful to be actually in this ecosystem instead of looking at, stack price, you waited 2 years. Yeah, well, you had 2 years to get some money, and now you can drop and get an even better price. That's not bad.
It's not bad at all. It's pretty exciting to get it so cheap right now, even after a nice little bounce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really quickly, everyone's like focused on just price, but again, if you think that all entire local liquidity between the entire Hexagon ecosystem is now split into many different pools, like slice of a pie. Are you going to take a whole pizza and call it one pizza, or is multiple slices part of that pizza? Well, now technically their own plates. Yeah. Someone else has dinner on.
It's like they're all different pieces, but they're all like on the same plate kind of thing. Like they're all backed. They're all backed by the same amount of tokens, and it's kind of so it's like one way it's like splitting buy pressure because people are buying different things. But another way of thinking about it, there are different things to attract different people. So maybe the net may be cast wider to get a diversity of funds in. People who invest in Pulse may not have liked Hex if it was just Hex, and then people who like PulseX may really like PulseX and maybe don't want to invest as much in Pulse, but all that money gets siphoned into the same place. Doesn't matter what you find interesting, the money ends up at the same place backing the whole system because of the liquidity bond.
What you were saying, to put a feather in that, people knew what PulseX was because Pulse was so fast to complete. So people didn't have the opportunity to get into Pulse. Maybe didn't get the big payday time back in the day. Mm-hmm. So there are many different variables of both time in the market and the utility of what you're getting from the market at the same time as all of these things are twining together. So it's fascinating to see from a systemic or a simulated point of view, which is what I do.
Yeah. Caliber to Crypto. Sorry I got to this question a little late. Registered for the market making class this weekend. Haven't seen a Zoom link yet to be a part of it. When it starts, will y'all be sending this out? Yes, we are sending that out tomorrow, right before the first class starts at 11 a.m. EST. So just be around at between 10:30 to 11 a.m. EST, and you're going to be getting that link, the Zoom link in. So don't worry that you haven't gotten a link yet. You'll be getting it. And if you don't for some reason, DM me on Twitter, DM Access on Twitter, whichever one you can get a hold of, or message him through accessalive.com because we'll have somebody on the sideline fielding, troubleshooting anybody who's not able to get in or get a link. So don't worry, just reach out to us and we'll make sure you're in. There's something else I wanted to. Oh, here's a good question for you as well, man. For me and you, what's the Achilles heel that would break the ICOSA premium over Hex? Hedron auctions with no participation. I'll let you start.
Sure. Well, the thing is that the entire machine of that entire ecosystem has its own fledgling base and is further pushed forward. So let's just table off that everything on Pulse Chain is primary asset number one, or cornerstone or keystone number one. When people see these type of things, they're going to go to the cheaper asset to actually take part of the same mechanic ecosystem that is there. We also still don't have any other genius that Alex has locked up between Rocket Pool and all the rest of that type of stuff. So when people see an engine work on one side and they realize that a different engine has identical tooling to that, they're going to participate regardless of the barrier to entry because one will have gone up. Now we already understand bonded liquidity between the pairs. So we already know that people were playing the arbitrage game for those that already understand this. So just ICOSA inherently of itself, the entire ICOSA Hedron ecosystem puts scripting onto a T-share, not Spot Hex. Spot Hex gives you the ability to get on the T-share train. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Now you can partake in a different variable of that, like using Hedron to buy HSI wrap stakes. But I mean, even Richard said go down after ICOSA.pro to access both chains immediately. Do you think that onboarding utility or lens is any less more valuable if that's how everything's already going? It's a very bullish statement across the board, just like we have Bancor now with PHUX to add more to what Fiat and Famous and everything else is doing. It's strengthening the entire ecosystem.
Yep, absolutely. And I think one thing to keep in mind, if like there are no auctions, Hedron auctions going on, HSI auctions, like there's also no ICOSA inflation. So like, yeah, sure, the system goes to a halt, but it doesn't keep moving. It literally comes to a halt, and it is just waiting and primed for whenever a new engine or a new life is breathed into it from the Hex side, right? And so that time, that opportunity when everything stops is for people who just have a belief in the system, who like the mechanics, to accumulate basically as much of it as possible so that the future inflation is less effective on their backs. But they get the price appreciation of it because other people are speculating, because now there's action within the system. So it's like, it all depends. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well, no, I'm just saying, on top of that, the people that have HSI wrapped stakes at any point could liquidate out and auction them to get their ICOSA, to use the system for what it is. So if you're doing a 5 stake, that's 15 years from now. You need to be patient, because at any time someone could use the protocol to do what it's going to do and restart that engine like you were talking about. It's not like it halts, it's just on pause for more gas. Nothing stops. It's all programmable.
It's all the code is there ready to be used whenever people start to use it, and then the engines are just greased and it starts moving again. One thing I speculate on, and we don't know this because we haven't had the Hedron ICOSA system in a bull market yet, but say you take a 50% or 60% penalty on your HEX stake if you EES'd it, right? But say you can take it and sell that HSI for 50 or 70%, 80%. Right? Like, you're still taking a hit, but you're taking less of a hit than if you were to EES it. So people who are looking to exit closer to a top because they want to get that liquidity, because they think they can rebuy back and lower to get a higher price, may go the ICOSA route because they get a better USD value for that. Yep. For anybody that has HSIs. So even if people, there is a logic to selling HSIs for ICOSA at a discount, even there.
I mean, on top of that, it's the same thing I said way back when, that technically impermanent loss, if you're a whale and you're providing USD or a stable on one side, and your impermanent loss is your ability to liquidate out without ever touching the price and ever fat fingering it down. You have to use the tools for what they're meant to be used for. And that's ideally where the stuff like you're going to write, I'm going to help Stu write, Red Squirrel, Neil, and everything with the Tetra ecosystem hopefully gives people to understand how the mechanics and the nodes are working together. That actually allows you to understand the real things behind the corner or under the hood on what's going on. It's not just fake ideas or Justin Sun tweeting something or something like that. You can look at the nodes, you can use the connections, you can backtest it, you can do all that. And hopefully that allows more further education of what people are doing with the protocols that they're using.
It gives you confidence to hold for a long period of time, because you know that despite what the dollar value is, you're still able to have a metric to value your bag at, right? So it's like the greatest one that I like, the easy one to understand, is the staker class leagues, the aquatic animals, right? So if you have like 1.3 billion Hedron, you have a squid position. You know what your ranking is in the entire position, no matter where the dollar value price is.
Exactly right, and that's just gamification. Right, leagues have always been leagues. That's why you have bronze, silver, and gold. And those are just the same ratios that you need to understand where you are in the caste-based system of where you're existing in.
Yeah. Gabriel, yes, if you've signed up for the course, the recording will be available after for you to download. If you did not buy the course, the recording is not available to purchase. So it's just like the Crypto Mindset course. So if you want the course but you can't attend live, you could just purchase it and then get the recording afterwards and watch everything at a faster pace. And I'll drop the link again. A little extra info from Latin American Crypto. So he said, looks like the first drop was eFiat if you held it, or a Pulse Chain and Pulse X sacrifices with at least $1,000 in your wallet. That's actually pretty tough, because some people might have sacrificed from different wallets. So if you didn't sacrifice from the same wallet, you didn't qualify.
And pools. I know I was in a particular pool.
Same.
So I wish things were handled differently, but it's irrelevant. You know what I mean?
It is what it is.
What's that?
It is what it is.
You know, it is what it is. I mean, seriously, don't be butthurt about stuff. Look at what you did, and then use that as a way to read the road on what's coming forward. You know, I missed out on fiat because I wasn't paying attention. I was doing one of my 20, 30-hour work days, and it closed up in like a week. You know, so I missed it. I mean, I put in for famous, but you know, it's irrelevant for what it is. But the way if it's what Latin America is saying is ladder and fiat first, because that was the first one that got locked up and was a quick to close and return. That means that actually is almost a more better variable than if you stack for Pulse from your personal wallet or a wallet yourself, because that had an immediate open and close date on the ratio and or participation that you would get from that.
Yep. I think their sacrifice has been the most successful so far, and the one that has paid out the first too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Buck's on top of this stuff. Buck and Coast and all the rest of those guys, like, that's what's exciting, is watching other people build protocols, experiences, and from my point of view, stories that people can now utilize to grow, learn, and use this budding ecosystem that's still barely going from toddler crawling to maybe almost be able to walk and run. But we're still within that web and flow of that kind of thing.
Yeah. Another important thing, you guys, Buck has hinted that if you sell your PHUX tokens, you just get locked out from any future airdrops. So, if you want to sell, wait till all the tokens are out, unless you just don't want any more free tokens.
And it's a competitive advantage. The pan is hot. If you really want to learn to cook, you're going to treat the pan with respect.
Yep, 100%. Oh, man, we still got Hexfire in here talking with people. I appreciate it, man. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, well, it's a solid 45 minutes, guys. I'll give another 20, 30 seconds to throw questions in the chat. If not, we'll head off. Kool-Aid, what else, man? What else? Anything else been on your mind?
Nope. I just see you. I pop on in. I only come when I'm summoned, and only my friends can summon me. So
I appreciate you coming on, man. It's always fun to talk to you and just pick your brain on stuff. And I'm looking forward to meeting you in person sometime. Are you going to any of the Pulse Chain Tour dates?
Yeah, I'm going to be helping actually with a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but I'll be in the Austin one, obviously, and I'm now in Austin. Probably won't have time since I'm doing all sorts of other stuff to travel. Because obviously moving is a huge suck of everything. But I'll be around. And come out to ATX. You got a place to stay.
Hey, definitely.
Finish your college, sir. I need my dentist.
Hey, I only got 1 year left, baby. May 2024. Right, I'm graduating right as we're starting to enter like the bull market stuff. So it's going to be a crazy, crazy year for me.
It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
The thing is that starting your own business while you're doing that, while the crypto's done, we're going to go back to what I told you, 2 years ago when we started talking? You're going to hate the fact that you're doing the work because you've been so much other silly shit. Like, I really should do this thing I put so much time into.
Right. Or just yield on crypto. Do some streams. It's all good. It's all the same thing.
Exactly.
Talk to my friends. Talk to my crazy crypto friends,
Yep.
Oh man. All right. Okay. We'll get this last question. So many V1 farms pay fees or all ink only? Only ink. Only ink on V1 and V2 is there are no farms, so you get your fees. So all the fees on V1 go to buy and burn.
Think about the mechanics of what ink has been done with and what other people have built on top of a T-share based system, on top of a fork of Liquidity, both on a layer 1 and on a DEX base. On the fork of what Aave is, think about what possibly could be done with incentive token. And think about if you have enough time in that pooling system, the impermanent loss is negligible because maybe you're more heavy on your ink bag, but you're always earning ink. But that's when you build something on it. Now the ratio goes in the other way. And you're finding your liquidity through multiple values of the tokens that you think will pair and be bonded the most.
Yep. And actually, I have some pretty solid slides in my presentation at the very end of it on the incentive token farm, specifically one pool in specific that I like a lot. And I'm going to be outlining like my thesis on that specific pool. Let me show you guys really quickly the core stuff. So it's the market making bootcamp. It's tomorrow and Sunday, 11 a.m. EST for both days. $200 to sign up, and you get the recording afterwards. So if you can't make it live, you still have access to all the information. The recording will not be sold afterwards. I would love to see as many of you guys in there. We got some really good feedback on the first one. We had some really, prominent people in the community, Crypto Graphics, Crypto Vince. We had a lot of people watching us to get information on liquidity providing. And so we're going to run it back one more time with all of the PulseX stuff. We have a lot of extra stuff to talk about. So we figured another course was due for anybody who wasn't able to make the last one, because we had quite a few people wanting to get in, but it was after the fact. So I hope to see as many of you guys in there as possible. I had a lot of fun last time, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. One more thing I want to share. I'm about to drop a website soon, cryptosloth.info. Yeah, I like it. I found this little GIF. It looks pretty good. But yeah, this is going to be like my main hub where I post a lot of my written content, and I run any kind of services or stuff through. So if you want to be part of the Crypto Sloth community, you want to be notified of things first, any special deals, any special information, I'll probably be writing stuff on a newsletter that I may not post about on YouTube right away. So if you want information first, you want it direct from the source, put your email in here and you will be signed up. I'll put it in the description below.
Noise.
It's in the description below, and I just put it in the chat, and then I'll put the course one more time for anybody who wants to sign up. All right, guys. Any parting words, Kool-Aid?
No, I'm here for you.
No sloth on a cloth joke, nothing like that.
I mean, I do that personally. Because all of us pick up their phone at 3 a.m. to be like, oh Lord, he can cover. Oh
yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you, all 54 of you, for hanging out with me in this impromptu stream. I really appreciate you guys hopping on without any notice or stuff. It means a lot. I appreciate all your guys' support. Look out for more stuff from me in the future. And I'll stop the music there. Peace out.